feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming.
Hello beautiful people, welcome to Altcoin Daily with Bitcoin Gorilla. Today I am back to talk to you about Sun token, no any other token but the new Sun token. If you don't know what Sun is actually the Trump first platform stop for stable coin swapping as well as token mining and self-governance. And with the new redenomination that went on Sun, now Sun allows you features like if you are a holder, you have access to value capture, staking reward, and as well as voting and governance right in the community. This is improvement on Sun, especially the staking aspect. That's actually the aspect that attracted me to Sun after the redenomination. Well, I am here to update you how far is my journey on the $5 prediction after the redenomination of Sun. I say you should buy Sun because it's cheap and soon Sun will recover. Even though we had a strong sell-off, I am here to update you on how far the price has gone since the last time I spoke to you about Sun. I am Bitcoin Gorilla. If you end up liking this strategy, because it's going to be simple, pure price action, no indicators, and I'll be drawing my chart from scratch, so you will be able to see every aspect, and I'll explain what we are saying based on simple price action and the candlesticks. So let's start by first of all understanding the current statistics of Sun. Currently, the price is still trading around 0.01477, of which it has seen like a downside of about 1.3% in the last 24 hours. Right. Good thing is, of course, you know that Sun maintained the same market cap after the redenomination, right? But of course, there was increase in the total supply, giving rise to more token in the market. So the new total supply was about 900 billion token, right? 19.900 billion token. Now this is a lot of token that Sun has, Justin Sun himself has added to this token. But I believe in the new added future, and I believe the future of Sun is still promising, and somehow soon we could see Sun coming out of at least 0.1. At least let's first get above 0.1, because if you look at this chart, you find out that Sun has been on a serious struggle since after the redenomination. Price is literally at the same range where it left. So it started here and is back again to the same range. So there's no literally any difference that has occurred in the market. So I am here today. Let's look at the price together. So I'm going to draw this chart using simple price action strategy I developed myself. It's called the Bitcoin Gorilla strategy, and I'm going to start by finding the skeleton of the box, right? So these are the most important area that price has had this rejection from either buyers or sellers, either side. So these are the points, and alright, let me bring in the box. So this is the skeleton aspect of the box. Let's bring in the box now. Remember, this is for a long-term analysis, but it's going to be multiple time frames. So if you're on a short-term trading, you are going to even still understand it. And mind you, it is good that you are patient, because I said something about my analysis on Sun. I see a lot of patience is going to be needed. In fact, for me, when it goes lower, I see it's a good opportunity to buy more. But of course, it shouldn't go too far from where I started buying before, because this analysis I made was around this point, right? Around we made the analysis when price the first analysis. I've made multiple analysis after that, but we started buying from here. So when it gets here, we bought again. So where it is it time to buy? Well, we're going to talk more about that, because according to this chart, let me take it back. Oh, I need to bring back that box. And I think a little bit adjustment is needed down. Much better. I'll go ahead and bring the second box. Okay, this is the box that we have here. Hopefully this is very easy for you to see the colors, but I'm trying to get the best color possible that will help us differentiate what is happening. Okay, so this is the box. So let's try to make sense of what is happening in this box. Before we start, this is weekly chart, where everything that we're dealing with here is literally everything that happened after the redenomination. But I really want to first of all take an eagle eyes overview of what really happened in the monthly chart. More like, let's have an eagle eyes of the monthly chart. Why? Is because the monthly chart is where the whales are, is where the big money lies. One candle in the monthly chart means a lot to those people who are buying sun for the long term. So we can't beat their kind of capital, but if you can't beat them, they say you join them. So let's look at what they are printing in terms of candlesticks, then we try to make sense of it to see if we have chances of even holding this coin or buying more, or should we just dump it? Let's find out together, right? All right. Okay, well, looking closely right here, we see that after the redenomination of, so I want you to entirely forget this candle exists, this red candle. Just completely ignore the fact that the candle is existing right there. Just completely ignore it. Let me reduce that music. So I want you to completely ignore the fact that this candle right here exists. So what I want you to do is, we're going to start analyzing the candlesticks from this particular candle. Now this candle is actually a hammer on the support range, because this is the opening after the redenomination. Now this opening after redenomination got instantly a hammer and two inverted hammer. Should I call it two inverted hammer? Because is it actually a resistance level, or is it even a possible what support? We don't know, because this is an open after the redenomination. Why is it now dumping below that support range? You see, after the during the redenomination, a lot of people were able to sell, but nobody knew the price that Sun was going to open at, right? So when Sun opened at, even though you get to swap your Sun for 1:1000 Sun, yet you still don't know the price exactly at which the new Sun was going to open. So when the new Sun opened, literally opened around 0.016, a lot of people really were disappointed, and so many were just, I want to sell off the coin, right? They didn't yet understand the added features and the usage of staking, in terms if you are investing in coin in Sun in a long term. Before this redenomination, you can't just take your coin and get reward. But now, even though the market is in an accumulation for a long time, all you need to do is take the coin, and you're going to be getting returns in reward for staking your coin, right? So we see that the sell-off continues after redenomination. So a lot of people were still skeptical, even though they were new buyers who now see Sun as a cheap token to buy. So they are the ones who entered here. So the new buyers were those who saw Sun as the new cheap token. So they started buying. But unfortunately, those who are already scared, that has been holding Sun for quite some time, when they watch Sun before the new Sun went from exactly $54 all the way dropping to that price, even though we know that 1:1000 now, so it's easy enough for you not to lose money. It's just that if it crashed more, you would have lost money. So as it opened and they get 1:1000 and they had the opportunity of a little pump, they sold out. So those people who did not literally believe in Sun, those short-term traders who wanted the fast money in Sun, got disappointed they weren't getting it, and they sold off, especially the fact that it started some sort of a sideways. So for like 4 months, Sun was literally not going anywhere, but back and forth literally every month. And before we now had that pullback, right? So now this pullback that we're seeing here, of course, this is a bearish candle. This 2 candle is a bearish candle, and this is a clear confirmation. And if we go further down, there's something I'm seeing, but I don't want to give it that impression yet. Why? This candle, I needed, for me 3 black cross is full body candle. So like this particular candle is a full body grown candle, this other candle is a full body grown candle. So if this other candle here was a full body grown candle, then I will start considering it as 3 black cross, right? And 3 black cross is a big bearish signal, right? Just like the opposite of the bullish signal is 3 white soldier. But I do not want to just jump in conclusion that it is 3 black cross, because of course I'm not convinced about the first candle, though the first candle combined with the previous candle is actually a bearish candle. Sorry, excuse me. So it's actually a bearish candle when you combine these 2 candles, right? So and again, there's a resistance here. So this guy is now looking, this candle, this green candles, it doesn't matter the candle color. I always say when it comes to candlesticks, especially when it comes to hammer, doji, inverted hammer, shooting star, all those ones, the color does not really matter. It's the position where you are finding them, the location where they are located, whether they are at the support or they are at the resistance. This guy was completely trying to get through the resistance of 1 and 2, and of course, if you get through the inside of my box, you cannot just literally get out of the top of the box just like that. So they made it and pierced through the inside of the box, but they could not get above the box, right? So leading to that point of this candle now acting as, this particular green candle acting as a shooting star, right? Acting, the green, not the red candle, mind you, the green candle acting as a shooting star, because now it still is hanging on resistance. In fact, 2 resistance for me is like saying I wanted to get out by force, but I understand that this market, if you're going to get out of my box, is going to need strategy, right? Movement by the bulls. One run is not going to get them out because it's not easily broken. Consolidation is what my boss deal with, and consolidations don't break out easily. So whenever you see consolidation, it needs patience. So all this while when you're hearing about trading, it's about 80% waiting, right? 10% buying, right? And 10% selling. It's all back to the story of consolidation is what takes this 80%. And if you are worried about going in and out of the market just because of candlesticks, several candlesticks that keep contradicting themselves, you are going to end up losing a lot of money. You can see this candle went up and then the same candle completely gone down, and then what if the same candle completely goes up? So now you are confused. Should you buy? Should you sell? You are losing money because you keep going in and out of this market, and such situation is what requires a lot of patience. I keep talking about patience in my videos, but a lot of people don't emphasize much of it, and I'm that number one trader that will emphasize you learning how to be patient and learn more of timing. Trading is about timing, knowing the right time to buy and the right time to sell. It's not about I want it now or get rich quick scene. You're going to lose a lot of money trying to catch it all the time. See, yes, there's opportunity whereby you go into a coin, maybe most of these new coins, and you just make some good bags and then you exit it. But you can't do it on multiple coins, because if you do that, you're going to lose a lot of money. By the time you enter the coin, probably it could be a fake out or something, and it just changes everything. So this is why it's good to pay attention to patience and timing. That way it will help you select your coins, select your trade, and then learn patience and buy the right time. So for me, I think we are still within the range we bought, right? It's just this range. We bought at this range, and on the monthly chart, it is still on support. So this is still support range, right? Because why? This is the support, right? Yeah, you will say, but they are below the support Bitcoin Gorilla. Yes, I want to stay open-minded as well. Like I said, I pyramid my entry. What I am looking is, no matter what happens now, Sun to maintain the upward move we are seeking. I want to believe that this two bullish reversal is going to play out, and not just that, we have this inverted hammer again on support, right? So here's the thing, chances are high we could get this playing, but how high is this chances? For me, I don't believe we have much dump. Instead, I do really see this Sun really making a move up. So my box strategy say, if we leave the bottom of the box, we're going to head to the top of the box. But of course, you have to face challenge. It's like when you're playing a game, there are obstacles created along the way to make it fun. Even the life we live has obstacles every day. Without these obstacles and challenge, trust me, a lot of us will get bored of life. Because if we have all the monies we need, we have all the things we've ever asked, we'll get bored and then we want new challenge. So life is fun when there's challenges and you learn and you grow. So this price is going to encounter, when it's going down, when it's going up, it's going to encounter these challenges of the previous broken support, right? So this is why we're going to experience a move up, a pullback, a retest, a move up, a pullback, something like that. But I do assure you that if they successfully hold my support, it's going to lead to more move to the upside. But so here's what we're going to do. We're going to give both the buyers and the sellers equal judgment. So we're not going to look more at the buyers and ignore the sellers, or look more at the sellers and ignore the buyers. Instead, we're going to make it an equal overview. I hope you're with me. So let's go down to lower time frame, like the weekly chart, right? Back to the weekly chart. Now we're going to start making sense of my box. So it's going to make more sense now. Okay, so this is my box on the weekly chart, and according to the candlesticks, we did had a sideways. So that inverted hammer, I said red inverted hammer, remember I said when it comes to me, the color of my hammer on support does not matter. So of course, again, just like before, here on the weekly we have two inverted hammer on support. Now this entire candle is a confirmation. This green candle is a confirmation that some bulls are actually here to actually save the day, right? That price could likely see a reversal. Now this is where we first entered before they made their way to the support, but I don't think they are far, because why? For me, why I bought more is, remember I said as long as they are within the support range, chances are high that we're going to get a bounce. So for me, they returned above the support. So they made it into the support, they returned above it. In fact, they even made a clear new high. So before now, when they started going down from here, there was no clear change in height, right? Until this point. But if I zoom in, you're going to see that this new candle did went above it. I don't care if it's just the wick that went above it. It's still something. It's still a sign. It's still an effort. I just want to see some effort from the buyers, right? So that's some sort of effort for me, and is a good sign, because why? I am seeing now that they are going to try as much as possible to hold this point. So even if they are going to fall in, they won't fall below much this point. And what is it? They want to say they will stay above 0.01288. So for me, I want to be seeing progress from this situation. I want the bulls to try as much as possible to at least hold some good bullish market structure. How? Even if we're going to get further pullback, they shouldn't go below 0.28, right? So that this will give them strength to yet get another reaction, so that this time around they can they can move their way up here. So if this happen, this is going to look something like, I don't know if you know the pattern called inverse head and shoulder. It's going to look, sorry about that. So it's going to look something like this. So this zone is going to become the neckline somewhere around here. In fact, yeah, somewhere around there will become the neckline, somewhere around here, right? This zone. Oh my, I don't know what's wrong with my drawing tool. Somewhere around here, the neckline is going to be somewhere around there, right? So we're going to have this shoulder, head, and shoulder. This is an inverse head and shoulder, which means price could reverse up. But again, remember, we should not just overlook the 3 black cross we saw on the weekly, if that is even what it is, because I like seeing full body grown candle, but I don't take nothing for granted. So I keep it at the back of my mind, so that when I'm making decision, I'll make better decision. So how do I make this better decision? Is the fact that I have to see this bull hold up what is happening on the daily chart. So let's go to the daily chart and I will show you what I'm talking about, because the daily chart has a sideways. So you see that sideways, right? So you see the sideways that is currently going on the daily chart. So even if they get into the box, at worst case scenario, they shouldn't go below 0.0, in fact 0.1. They shouldn't make it below 0.1. This, they are at where we entered before, and is a good thing. But just yesterday gave a strong so this reaction we're seeing is as a result of this. So one thing you must know about my box is, like I said, when you're going down and you're breaking the support, when you return, you have to work more to be able to gain the same trust that these supports give you the last time, the bulls give the bulls the last time. So this was a support range they completely broke, and when they got here, they completely broke this tip of the support and entered inside the support. Now the thing about this is, did you see the reaction, how they reacted when they tried to break above it? In fact, before they could even get above it, they had like 2 reactions, 2 rejections. Look at it right here. You can see these many rejections on the tip, right? So now they were able to go above it, return, retested it before they could make their move up. So that is what happened to them here, right? So what happened to them is they are trying to enter into my second box. The first attempt is not going to be an easy one, right? So the first attempt, they even got pushed a little bit further down, right? So this was like a retest of the break of this, right? So this was They retested before they went lower. Now when they return trying to get back into this area that they broke down from, it become a disaster, right? You can see they made it the first time in fact, let's just analyze this a bit by bit so that we'll understand their journey on how they made it. So they first came, they got rejected here, then the second time they entered in, but that was like a big mistake, because you just can't just walk into a place where you deserted and you broke a trust and think things are going to be back just the way you want it. This particular chart is telling us that the bulls are struggling to win back their previous broken support. So you see they made 3 attempts. They made the first one, they made the second one, they made the third one. The third one even got them weaker because they could not stand the sell pressure, because now the trust of the support is won by the sellers. So the sellers are taking that as their point of taking profit or their point of sell-off. So that is around 0.18 all the way to 0.02. Sorry, I said 0.18. 0.018 all the way to 0.02. They are strong sellers lying around this range. So our previous resistance, our previous support is now our new resistance. Understanding this, but there's one thing is redemption. Redemption is always open for the bulls, and that is what we are hoping. Can these bulls go back and have some accumulation to give them the strength? They could have this accumulation, but they could enter into this point at a line and then give them the strength to move all the way back up. Because if they can make one more attempt, see, the thing I like about support and resistance is countless attempts shows effort, and effort will give you the opportunity to penetrate even through anything. Water penetrates through a rock because it's not by pressure or force, it penetrates it by persistence. So these bulls have to be persistent hitting this particular point. It might look so strong, it might look disappointing, it might look so hard, but if you try, if these bulls can try again as buyers, if they come back to this, they are going to definitely break it, because this is another chance after countless attempts, and they failed with every strategy and every attempt they have tried, they failed. But if they can make it one more time, all they need is to gather the strength and use the right move, right? So what should they do? Well, for me, I think we should go further to try to see if we can contain. Let's go to 4 hours, because I want to contain everything that happened between the bulls and the sellers in the current range in a box, right? So you're going to see the back and forth very clearly on 4 hours, right? The consolidation is very clearly on 4 hours. Remember, this is just 2 candles on the monthly chart. How fantastic that is. This is why I love multi-time frame analysis. It helps me make better sense of the chart, especially if you are trading on spot, right? So I'm going to try to reduce the color so that you'll be able to still see the chart. Alright, beautiful. This is the chart. Let me see. I have a beautiful control line of this new. Now this chart we are focusing on 4 hours. I have a beautiful control line somewhere around here. Alright, and of course I want to move my this other line right here is the, I want to leave it, but let me just try to reduce the color. Is the chart of the previous is the chart of the previous inner box, that point where I say they are going to now force themselves to enter. So the storyline is how they are going to make it into it, right? So we're going to do this. hold on. So let's look deeper into this. Let's analyze this on a lower time frame. So here's the thing. This is my control line. This line, a very important point, a very important meeting point where the buyers and the sellers seems to magically somehow always trying to meet up. So there's just something destiny pulling the buyers and the sellers constantly to this point. So you can take a very note of it. So let's not ignore that point, because that is where they got rejected and they are still falling right now. So here's the thing. This price is likely going to return all the way to this point. So I'm going to, just like I corrected this point, I'm going to this. Remember, this line is not the new chart that I just drew. It's the previous chart, but I don't want to turn it off because I want us to work with everything together. So good. So for the bulls to continue this journey, let's bring a trend line, and I'm about to show you something. This is the trend line, and for a trend line we need a minimum of 2 touches, right? So we're going to zoom in this chart. We now want to start seeing the candle. Remember my box, you might say, oh, how do I even trade this? Don't worry, it's easy to trade and it's easy to understand. So this is the chart. So we have 1 touch here, we have a second touch here, beautiful. But then my box is saying chances are high we are returning to this point. So I do see Sun token still bringing us back to 0.012 to 0.011 range, 119, 118 range. I know that's not what you want to hear, but that is the reality of what the chart is saying. And my chart, my analysis, you know, I am very honest with you, and I will tell you exactly what I'm seeing. I do not sugarcoat. It's up to you what you do after now with what I tell you, but I will tell you exactly how I'm seeing it. These bulls are going to decide to go lower in order to gain the strength to move up. Remember I talked about 3 rejections that go on. So now that we zoomed in, let me show you what happened. You can see they made their first attempt, right? They failed. They made another attempt. Remember, this is where they are trying to enter. They are trying to enter this and stay above it. They made the second attempt. They failed. I drew this chart because I want us to have a better view of the chart on a lower time frame, like 4 hours. This is 4 hours chart. They made another attempt. They failed. Another attempt, failure. 3 failure is good sign that we're going to have a little push down before anything continues, right? So here's what I see. I see them, my control line, if they were to stay in the price, they should at least stay above the control line. It's beautiful the control line try to hold them and give them the second chance of staying above it. So the beautiful thing about the control line is, if price is above the control line, they are going to fight to stay above it. But if price is below it, they are going to fight to stay below it. So there's always this battle between buyers and sellers along my control line. If you want to learn more about this box strategy, remember I take members to trade members into my family, which is the Makaveli traders family, where you trade life with me. On every trade I trade, and I share market insight on the go. We discuss the price. I'm like a mentor with you, because every day you'll be with me for the rest of my life. It's a one-time payment for a lifetime access. You can visit the website, but currently access is closed. I am only open to taking members into my family 3 times in a year, because it's a limited access. We have, it opens next around May 3rd. That's when next I am going to open the door to take new students to come and join and learn. If you want to come and learn how to draw this, there's no indicator, it's simple price action. If you want to come and learn and join me and understand market price action, then please, access will be open by May 3rd, but it's a limited access. It will be closing by May 27. So here's the thing, as price comes, is already rejected by the is below. See, I told you, if it goes below the control line, then the control line will reject it when it returns. So that's exactly what we saw happen. So we see price going below the control line, which is a mistake. Here they try to hold it, try to bounce. The third rejection leading to a breakdown that completely broke that control line. Now, when they return to the control line, what did I say they will experience? a rejection, and that's exactly what happened. You broke me, you're not just going to come and pass through me just anyhow you like. I'm going to protect myself. That is what this control line is. So instead of backing the buyers, I decided to back the sellers. So what you're seeing here is a rejection, and I do tell you this rejection is going to push down, and we're going to get down. They will get to 0.13614 range. They will try to react up, but I tell you, it's not going to be over for them, because somehow magically either they go sideways, magically they will still touch this point. So at some point, I do expect, for me, I'm going to buy more sun because I already see it coming. So around 0.012 range. So patience is going to be needed. It's going to happen maybe sooner than you think, maybe not, but I do see it coming. So do have that at the back of your mind. But that does not mean we are going to see more downside. I'm just being honest about what I'm saying according to the Bitcoin Gorilla box. Why? The chances of the bulls holding up is strong, because yet it is going to be the tip of my box, right? The tip of the support, and I won't be surprised that they will now turn around and try this time around to go above. They will come to the seller, to the control line. Of course, the control line is the second time they will be touching the control line. So of course, the control line is not going to let them pass on a second ride. So they will get pushed down. So expect this sideways, so that you don't easily change your mind or easily say, oh, son. No, for me, it's patient, long time investment, good for future look. When you're looking at 1 year or 2 year or 3 years from now, where can sun be? Really, I see sun is going to take the move, right? But this is going to take a long time. Sideways, I always say, takes a while. Patience is needed. So when they come, they will return, but then this time around they will get above it, and when they get above it, they will try the 0.16 all the way to that 0.18. so their goal is they will get to this point, they will get reacted, but then they will make it back up. So I do see the move this time around making it towards 0.022. so this is going to be, maybe, I don't want to give a time range, but May or so, June or so, 0.022 range. So they'll make it to that point. So let me take that back. What is that point? That is the tip of the bottom of their broken previous support. So remember, this is 4 hours. When we go back to our chart, let's take it back to daily chart. You can see that's going to be like a small box. And that's, look at it, it's just a small box. It's just 2 candles on the monthly that we just try to break down to see the possible outcome of that candle. And from this entire chart, from the explanation of the Bitcoin Gorilla box, it has broken these 2 candles and tell us to expect a move to the upside. That even though we are seeing the monthly candle currently red, something is still likely going to change still within the month, and we could see more proof of, because on a long run we could see this chart, when they get here, they're going to get pulled back. Once they get to the tip of this place, trust me, it's not going to be an easy ride. They'll get pulled back. But here's one thing I know: sun, by June, we start making another sideways, so they will here, right? But I tell you, before they can even get to this point, I would have come to update you. That's around 0.04. I would have come to update this chart. I remain Bitcoin Gorilla. If you end up liking this strategy, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for watching, because I will come and update you. Our journey remains to $5, and I tell you, I'm buying more sun because I want to stake my coin. I see a future coming. First, once we break outside my inner box and we're able to get into, we break into my inner box and we're able to get to sit on the support. So the price I want to see come alive on chart is 0.022. I want price to stay in that range, right? Touch that range, 0.022, not 0.22, 0.022. That is the first impressions that I really want to see, that this will, okay, fine, they have gotten into my inner box. Now something I am beginning to enjoy the ride, because now it will make it very difficult to push them below this our range of 0.022. 0.01. So I remember Bitcoin Gorilla, by then I would have come to update you. So for me, I see Sun is still bullish, but do not forget what we talked about on the 4 hours time frame, that you should watch out for that possible pullback that you should expect that could take us to 0.0122 range. So don't forget that it is not the end of Sun. Instead, we are still going to find our way up. So it's still bullish, and I'm going to keep accumulating more Sun. I keep adding to my Sun position. Thank you very much for watching, and happy trading.